Hi, my name is Stephen Hawes, the founder and CEO of Opulo, and this is the September 2025 Opulo company update. Opulo is an open source hardware company making the Lumen PNP, a desktop pick-and-place machine used for assembling electronic components onto circuit boards. The Lumen PNP is meant for assembling PCBs in a wide range of production scales, anywhere from just a handful of boards for a quick prototyping run, all the way up to production of a few thousand units a year, like we do here using the Lumen PNP to make boards that go into the Lumen PNP itself, literally building its own boards. As always, this video goes along with the blog post on our website, so if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description where you can follow along. First up, as always, is lead times. Unfortunately, I do not have any different news here in this department. This month, it continues to feel like a Sisyphean task. We have actually just hired on new help, which is fantastic, and we are still actively looking for more people to come on board. So if you are in the Pittsburgh area, please check the link in the description or in the blog post and come help us build some cool open hardware. As usual, we are generally shipping faster than what we have advertised in our lead time on the website, but we put it where we do, so we have absolute guaranteed assurance that we're gonna make sure we get your hardware when we say we will. As always, the best place to actually see what the lead time is going to be is going to our web store and checking on the product page. The listed lead time on that page is always the most accurate, and that's actually what we use to determine when we need to ship your hardware. So when in doubt, check the product page. That is the most accurate lead time estimate. Okay, next up is wide feeders. We have made some awesome progress on wide feeders, or 2U feeders, in the past month. Most of the focus has been in two categories. The first one is PCB edits and adjustments, and then the other one is the peel mechanism. So like I mentioned last time, I was thinking about exploring a different way of applying tension to the film. In our current feeders, we have a flexure. So a print actually holds two gears nominally too tight together, and that little bit of flexure puts a perfect amount of tension on the film and it peels it from there. This does work well, but in a new pass, I wanted to consider a new approach. I had already made a whole peel frame mechanism that has this tension built in. This is what I did in the previous video that I made on my channel about making these wider feeders, and it does work great. But I decided to explore a spring-loaded assembly and also implement a film tension sensor. This is a prototype of what I've been working on. So inside of this frame, there's actually a spring, and this is what is applying tension from the top gears onto the bottom gears. The bottom gear is what interfaces with the peel motor inside of the body here. And this applies a really good amount of force onto the gears. And what's really cool about it is you can pull back on this lever, disengage the tension, and pull film through. So you don't have to press and hold the button to drive all the film through to load up the tension. You just release it, pull it through, and you're already there. It's really nice. There's also a film tension system here. This little lever also has a spring in it, and then it also would have a Hall effect sensor on the PCB and a little embedded magnet. So we could tell once the film has tensioned this down flush. I was pretty sure that we would need this with the whole spring-loaded gear mechanism. I was imagining that the spring would pinch the gears together so much so that it would really cause a problem for feeding. But it's actually the opposite. As I'm driving film through this system, it actually slips beautifully. It pulls just enough to pull the film off according to the EIA 481 spec for component taping. But once it hits its limit and there's no more film to peel, the spring actually wonderfully releases the tension and it slips straight through. So the film tension sensor might not be necessary. I'm still exploring this, and I'm actually working on finishing out some of the rest of the CAD on the feeder so I can print a full version with this new peeling assembly and really test it with the proper firmware and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, I'm really happy with this system. I love that you can disengage the tension on the film gears and just pull it straight through. Super love that. And it's also really easy to put together, thinking about our manufacturability and what's it gonna be like for our assembly techs to actually build these things. It's gonna be good. I'm pretty looking forward to it. So as I finish the CAD for the rest of the structure here, and I do a few more tweaks on the PCB, I'll probably do another rev of PCB designs within the next couple weeks. It's tricky because I need the whole pattern on the PCB to be kind of nailed down when I order them. Right now, I'm just printing out the PCB shape, and that's been great for testing the mechanics. But I'm hesitant to buy PCBs until I get the mechanics all sorted out pretty well here, because it's so much longer of a lead time to get PCBs than it is to run a quick print. So great progress happening on this. I'm actively working on trying to get a good system working here, and I'm really happy with this so far. PCB adjustments have been small, but it's been a lot of tweaking and adjusting and checking pinouts on the microcontroller and making sure that the correct peripherals are connected to the right things, and a lot of that kind of continuous work. I've been adding a lot of ESD protection to the feeder and better layout decisions, a couple things like that. So yeah, good progress there. I'm really excited about it. This is mainly what I'm working on every day now, is getting 2U feeders buttoned up in a good place that I can hopefully get a DVT build pretty soon. Okay, next up, this is a small thing, but we've noticed that a lot of people have been putting labels on top of their feeders. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to see what component is loaded into a feeder, so folks have been printing out a label and just sticking it to the top side of the feeder that tells you what component's on it. So to help alleviate this a little bit, I made a sticker sheet. This is pretty simple. It's just a sheet with a bunch of stickers that have a color-coded R, C, D for resistor, capacitor, diode, and a bunch of other components. It's a matte finish, so it's actually really easy to write on, and you just peel them off, stick them onto your feeder like this, and you can write the value of the resistor that's loaded in or whatever component you have, whatever part number. And the color coding makes it a little easier to quickly find at a glance generally what kind of part you're looking for. I still want to do a couple little tweaks on the dimensions and stuff, but this was our first pass at getting the sticker sheet made, even getting a sticker sheet made like this at all. And hopefully we'll have this in the web store pretty soon. If this is something that you want, please let me know in the comments. I've seen a lot of people just kind of do this with a label maker, but it'd be nice to have an actual system, an actual way to go about doing this. So yeah, so that'll be kind of a cool little thing that hopefully we'll get out the door pretty soon. Okay, next up is VIA Grid. Last month I talked about the idea of having a blank PCB that has vias already embedded in it and using a UV DPSS laser to ablate away the copper on the top side. So we got a big crazy laser in. The one that we got was the CommMaker Omni 1, and it is capable of ablating copper and not burning or charring and making conductive the FR4 underneath. I also finally got my blanks in the mail. You can see here. This was my first pass of like a standard grid of the vias that could be used for a design. And I actually went in and designed a board around the standard and tried cutting it out on the laser. Getting these boards aligned in the laser has proven to be a little tricky. And I'm also working on getting some settings tuned in, but I am quickly approaching being able to just drop one of these things in, send out a design, have a double-sided board immediately, like maybe within the span of 20 minutes. I'm really excited about this. You can see here is an example of where it ablates away onto the FR4 really cleanly, and you can just see the fiberglass underneath. It's really incredible. I'm already finding problems with the via array that I designed. Once it actually came time to like cut these out, I'm learning a lot about the process of going through and doing this, but I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be a important improvement in the process of quickly being able to go through different designs. It's just a matter of tuning at this point is really what it feels like. So that's incredibly exciting. Hopefully next month I'll have some more information about this and some success that I've had with actually making a board. And then shortly after that, I'm sure I'll have a YouTube video on my channel about the whole process. Okay, that's it for this month. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all about anything that I said in this video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment on the YouTube video or send us a message at support.opulo.io and we'd love to get back to you. All right, that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.